After spending the last 2 years getting out of debt, it is finally time to start working on the whiskey distillery. We're heading on over to a facility that we might be purchasing. Well, I said facility, but it's really a piece of property that we're purchasing and might be purchasing. What is, oh, I should get out of the way. Who is this? Let's go ahead and pull to the side for them so they can get by. That's a big tractor and it's almost gonna fall off. There's a second semi coming with a huge cultivator. I kind of want to see what's going on with this. Let's not be too suspicious. We'll go back, turn onto our property. I'm sure they know we're following them at this point. Yeah, they're cruising along. Purple semis with huge equipment. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna cruise on over here. See if we can get a view. Oh, they're definitely pulling into Wyatt's property there. Okay, well, we've been waiting. Not sure why it took 2 years, but seems like they finally moved into town. I don't know exactly how that's gonna affect us, but we're gonna keep an eye on it. And I don't even know what Wyatt looks like at this point, so I'm not sure if we've seen him yet or if he's been in town, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? All right, let's head to this site that we're talking about. We got a lot to cover. Our dollar amount, we'll explain that in a little bit as well, but let's get to this future industrial site and talk about it. So why are we looking at a different site and not the land that is ours? Well, I was getting all of my documentations finalized to get the distillery built on our property, and we ran into zoning issues. They were not okay with the factories. They're pretty big buildings that we're going to be looking into, but they weren't happy with those in that location and were not willing to rezone. So the closest thing to our property we could find is this field right in front of us, and they would be willing to rezone it if we purchased it from the owner. So hopping out here, we can see they didn't even harvest their sunflowers last year. Katie does own this right now. We probably have to take a mortgage out, some type of land loan, construction loan potentially, but this is what we're looking at. We look at here at the information. It tells us this piece of land is worth just over $250,000. It is 10.47 acres. Soil type's not really gonna matter to us. It would be a good size field for the amount of buildings and infrastructure that we're gonna need to get into place to try to compete with this building right here. But let's head home. Let's talk about the dollar amount while we head home. So after last season, we finished the corn harvest and sold all the corn and corn straw, and our dollar amount is up to $306,000. So it's a good start, but I have some things that I'm eyeing and some adjustments we're gonna make. I had breakfast with a guy named Ben in town, and he owns the field next to our southernmost field. And he was interested in downsizing, and I've been kind of playing around with configurations of what I want to do with the fields long term. And we found a field that we own that's smaller than the one Ben owns that would be a good swap. Now, keeping in mind that the field is smaller, so we're gonna have to come up with a little bit of cash to make up the difference. But I think it'll work out. And this is the field here, number 32, that I'm thinking about trading with Ben. And we just got to kind of get that finalized and find out the dollar amount that we're going to owe him. And yeah, so this one potentially is going away. And heading down here, I'll show you what I mean by our southernmost field. That would be this one directly in front of us. And we're safe to drive on it right now. So we keep on cruising back through here. We can see this field directly in front of us is what Ben owns, and I believe he has some alfalfa on it. Not sure what state that alfalfa's in right now, but we'd be cultivating it up, and we're not going to use alfalfa at all. We need a ridiculous amount of barley. We're over at the flour production here, and we got things to talk about. Bobby has made a decision that he wants to start his own farm, and he really enjoys the process of making flour and has kind of dreams of going into opening his own bakery. So flour would be the first step for that for him. So He's gonna take over that operation, and it's gonna be a little more complicated than that. So far, we've made $111,000 from the production. It cost us $288,000 to purchase the production. So we are $178,000 in the hole right now. So before we sell this flour, and I actually find my direction around where I'm going in town here to sell it, Bobby's gonna take over, and we're gonna subtract the dollar amount from the sell we do right now, and that's gonna be the dollar amount he owes me. So as a friendly gesture to an employee that's been very, very important to our success, we're gonna give him a head start, but he is definitely gonna have to take out a loan to get some land. He's gonna wanna get some of his own fields going to make his, flour and continue using the flour production. So let's see how close he's gonna get to getting a free building here. Another 80 plus 10 from the environmental score bonus, so $90,000. All right, so that puts us at $201,000 that we've made off of it. Bobby's gonna owe us roughly $88,000. That's what we're gonna call it, even $88,000. And so he has no equipment. He has no fields yet. He has no way to make flour other than a production building. We're gonna help him. We're gonna let him borrow some of our equipment to get started. He's gonna have to figure out how to get land on his own. But after that, we will help him get started by borrowing and possibly helping out doing some work for him. But once he does start making money off of flour on his own, 50% of each sale is gonna go to us until that $88,000 is paid off. So we have a decent amount right now. We're almost at 400,000. I'm gonna get on the phone with Ben. We're gonna finalize getting those fields swapped, and then it's time for me to get started on prepping these fields for spring. I know it's still January, but there's a lot of work I'm gonna wanna do, and we'll start going over that really soon. Well, the land swap with Ben is done, but that brought us down to $167,000. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna work on blending these two fields together and make one massive barley field over here. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you guys, I did lease this cultivator. We don't own one, which I need to resolve soon, because we're gonna need our own cultivator. We got a lot of cultivating to do, so just wasn't sure with what size I wanted to go with, so I wanted to try this one out before we buy it. And I'm kind of tempted to hold off on some equipment so we get even bigger tractors, because as these fields get larger, as you can see, the size we're adding all the way almost to the bridge over there is where this field goes. So we're going for big. We're going big or going broke, right? That's the plan here. And I think it's going to work out in our favor, but I can't wait for you guys to see the new production building. It's beautiful. It's going to be able to produce a ton of whiskey per year for us. Hoping each facility can net us around $1 million per year. And we're gonna have multiple facilities before everything's all said and done. Let's just loop back this way. And I do think it would probably make sense to get this field completely combined and turned into one before I finish the whole thing. So let's go ahead and loop this way. We're gonna have to get this soil sampled as well. Lots to do, guys, lots to do. Perfect time of year for it. We got lucky where it's a little bit warmer here in January. It's 41 degrees. It will get cold overnight, so the cultivator is doing a decent job for the conditions, but probably could have waited a little bit longer, maybe early March, but we're gonna want to get this stuff planted as soon as possible, so felt like we really needed to get into it. Let's go ahead and straighten out now, go back, then we'll do the middle, and we can get this all done. And we're gonna do something similar with the fields to the north. Haven't completely decided how I wanna do that, but that's gonna be our biggest field when everything is said and done, secondary to this one. So, kind of talked about it a little bit last season. We're gonna wanna get a lot more equipment. We're gonna wanna have multiple harvesters, multiple vehicles doing grain pickup and dropping it off at trucks and semis to take to the facilities. And we're probably not even going to store things in our own silo at this point, so we need overflow from what we can fit in the productions. Hoping to have that building in place and all resolved and permits and everything granted to us to allow us to run that production by the time we harvest these fields that we're going to plant here in spring. But that will finish connecting the two fields, so we will go ahead and just get cultivating now. We should be able to get our GPS all aligned, just like so. Now we'll go straight down this, look behind us. Yeah, it's a big boy. This is a big boy. No more messing around. It's time to make a ton of money. Boy, it's gonna take a while to get used to seeing other tractors on these fields near us. That's a big boy too. I wouldn't mind some equipment that large. Just get past this window and we can see it. Oh, it's kind of not there. Our monitor's blocking us, but here it goes in the view there. Yeah, what a beast of equipment. Almost seems too big for that field. But it is kind of sad, you know, cultivating up this alfalfa here, but I think it was for the best for what we're looking to do. I'm gonna try to just do ups and downs and get most of this done, and then do the headlands at the end and just the areas that we missed. Try to limit the amount of time I'm spending on this field. It's gonna be a long day. Definitely getting jealous at that equipment over there. It looks like they're just about done with that field already, and we're just making a dent into ours. I do know ours is much larger than theirs, but man, they flew through that. Man, you can see way in the distance there. Let's see if we can get a little zoom in. They are getting busy. I didn't even realize Wyatt owned that field, but we're gonna get a good idea to see everything that they do cultivate. And exactly which fields they do own. Seem to really going to be some competition. I imagine they're going to be planting barley and some corn. I do know that they use corn in their recipe, and we're not going to, so that is a little different of a type of whiskey. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when we try to get to market, and if we can not financially, but find enough buyers for it. I know the production in Black Mountain has basically been shut down at this point, and we're moving over here. So we're kind of starting over from scratch, especially with Bobby moving here. Bobby fell in love with it as well as I did, so it's gonna be here long term. Boy, it just looks so good like that. Great field of view. I believe it's 30. Looks so good. This whole area over here, I'm debating next time around expanding to, like behind us. Let's get a good view here. I mean, it might make sense to cut that corner closer to the trees and utilize all of our land there, but I gotta get on the property lines and figure out what's actually ours, because I don't think our property goes much further than that. When I was looking at the information on the plot lines, it did look like it came off the trees quite a bit, so that's probably why we'll end up leaving it the way it is. It seems like they did reserve some of the land near the river for the city or the county to own and maintain. I don't know if they come out every once in a while and take care of those trees, or if they just let them grow naturally, but I haven't seen anybody over here doing any work or maintenance. So I don't know why. I don't know why they decided to do the property lines that way, but definitely gonna double check that and make sure we stay within our own lines. Finally done. Taking a look at the sun here. It is getting close to setting. I'm hoping to get the outline of the other field done because we got so much ahead of us. I'm feeling like we bit off more than we can chew with the equipment we have. I mean, they're just busting through their work across the streets. But yeah, we got to get this field, at least the outline done. Like into the night will be fine, but I definitely want to be able to see what I'm doing for the most part. But we'll have to probably finish cultivating it in February. But we didn't mulch this time because I was wanting to establish these new fields and just need to use our time wisely. So I don't think we're going to have time to really take care of mulching. There was a little spot up here I did want to fix. Yeah, so if we get like this, and then if I just deactivate that, lower it, we're just gonna pull forward and then fade into the field and raise, and that should be good right there. This spot here, let's go ahead and lower, and we're gonna come around like so. All right, raise here. And a lot of this, you know, we're going to expand the farmyard. Even though the production's not going here, the farmyard is going to get expanded long term. Just not 100% sure exactly what we're going to do with that yet. So we're going to do this whole field at least this year. Let's get far enough over to get all of this in one pass. And then we're going to look at connecting I call it the soybean field, the field right in front of us. No field. Oh, okay, that was almost scared me. But let's go over here, and I want to lock in and try to go straight, but we'll see how it works. Let's go ahead and lower that. And we're gonna keep going straight here. Avoid the tree, so we'll come out a little bit and then blend back in. And that should work nicely right there. Just a little bit of soybeans that we missed last time, but that'll be all right. And now this is the area I do want to get completed tonight before we lose daylight. And it's looking like we're going to be able to do that. So let's bust it out. All right, this part is connected now, so we're gonna take a right and head up north, connect the rest of this area. And that should eventually, once we get these passes here done and a little bit more on that path, it looks like, we'll have one big field. We'll raise here so we can do this correctly. Come around this way. That lowered. And then just kind of cruise over here and blend them together. And let's see how that looks now. Pretty nice. Okay, so now we just need to head back down south. There's a little speck right there where I lifted too soon. Let's get that first. And I thought I cleared these. Show lines is off. That's hilarious, but it keeps showing them. All right, let's back it up. And we'll go inside here, and I think we're gonna have to come back one more time, but that'll be okay. It's right there, got that spot, and we'll try to get as much of this in one go, but we lifted. We're gonna have to come back either way, so I'm gonna hug towards the field to the left, and then we will do some terrain fixing over here. We'll have to get some equipment out to handle that, but that's gonna become annoying real quick when we get to cultivate, or when we get to planting and harvesting. And let's get these two specks here. Make sure this is all complete, so when we set up our GPS course next time, it's able to handle it. There's a little spot there I missed. But yeah, sun's starting to get really low. I'm glad we pulled this off in time. That should do it. Now the field up there farther to the north, there is a road. So it's a county road. that leads to that other dairy enclosure there, or cattle property. Let's go take a look at that, actually. And I did the farm directly ahead of us. I talked to the family about that, about potentially getting rid of the road and blending these into this one field, and definitely got some pushback there. So we're gonna leave this one as is. We might actually mulch that in February to get a little extra yield on it, but barley's going in all of these. It's gonna be all about barley moving forward, but let's make sure it's all working. That looks pretty glorious there. And being that we have a lot to do, I am gonna go to the far side of the field here and start working on some ups and downs until we lose too much daylight. And we gotta remember that field behind us. Oh, dang, we just ruined that. Field's creation was still on. But yeah, we'll get as much of this done as we can before we lose too much daylight. Want to be able to see what we're doing. But I think at this point, I'm gonna shut the GoPro off, and I'll see you in February. Well, it's February. We finally got a good day of weather to be able to get the rest of this field cultivated, and I'm hoping to get all the way to get lime put down on both fields this month as well. This month, we're also gonna wanna start helping Bobby. He's looking at land. He's narrowed it down to a couple plots, and he's hoping to get one close by, but it might not work out for the price range he's looking. Remember, he's gotta finance his entire property here. We did end up getting all of the headlands done during January, so now we're just starting the ups and downs, making our way back to the farmyard. Pretty good sized field. I'm excited to see what we can bring in out of these two big fields, and really just narrowing our focus down on a couple areas. You know, instead of doing 4 fields or 5 fields, whatever we had, we're just gonna have 3 this time around. We do have the one behind us we're gonna want to get to as well. And I was eyeing a disc and purchasing a disc instead of a cultivator, so we might be getting that purchased today and have Bobby switch off and help. But I'm hoping he can get back from doing his little land search and be able to help us out a little bit in February. But let's get focused. Got to get some work done so we can get on to the next phases. Yeah, making some good progress here, and we're making good time, so I think I'm going to hold off on purchasing anything for cultivating this year. We'll work on that next year, but, you know, we've already put a month worth of lease amounts into this and payments, so we might as well finish with it and not spend any more money on tillage. You can see we're working our way over there. It's a big field, and we got the one behind us still, but what we're going to do is I'm going to finish cultivating this one. By that time, Bobby should be over here, and I'll be able to hand the cultivator to him. He'll do the cornfield behind us, and we'll be able to start getting lime put down on the 2 fields here. Eventually get to the corn one as well, but we got plenty of time here in February. It's still early February, so plenty to get through till we get to that planting season here in early spring and get the barley in the ground. And really, I'm itching to get to that site. We're working on finalizing the mortgage for the new property. And once that's done, we're going to break ground, and that's exciting times. Exciting times for the SWU whiskey distillery business. SWU Spirits coming soon. Well, I just got off the phone with Bobby, and he successfully found a plot of land that's just down the road. We'll go take a look at it later on today. But the plan that we've come up with is that we're going to finish prepping all of our fields in February. We're going to spend the month of March prepping his new field, and then in April, we're going to get what's going to be 4 fields planted. We're going to do 3 of ours with barley. We're going to get some flour going. Not flour. That's the ultimate goal. But we're going to get some wheat put in the ground for Bobby's fields. He's going to make flour out of wheat this year, and he did have enough savings. Like, I've been paying him for many years now, and he has been saving his money, so he did not have to finance it. It was lovely to find out. Lovely for him. So doesn't really have a lot of money left over for equipment, so we'll have to help him out in that regard until he can make some more cash. But excited for him. We do lose our foreman, but We'll get another one. We'll get a replacement. We'll get another main foreman out here to help me while I really start focusing on the whiskey distillery this time around. And those are the plans. So I'm going to stay focused here. He's coming with a fuel tanker, so he should be here soon. You can see we're getting a little low on diesel right now on the Black Beauty here. So we'll get that tanker going. He should be bringing a full load of diesel in, get that filled up so we can do the field behind us by the time he gets here. But I just have the old smaller fields to go here. Making pretty good time. Just about 11 o'clock here on February 2nd. Keep cruising along. And I'll see you when Bobby gets here. And all finished up here and just kind of waiting for Bobby. And oh, look, that's where I'm sleeping now. Check it out. No longer renting the house in town. We're just going to stay here until we get our own house. Finally brought our camper. Looking good, looking good. And that's even better. Got a little bit of shade. Get some chairs out here eventually. Lovely. All right, almost out of diesel. Bobby's going to be here any minute now. Get this filled up and we're going to get him on the old cornfield. Guess while we wait for Bobby, I'll take some time to spray this down, and oh, looks like he's coming around right now. He is flying. Looks like we're in his way though. Let's go ahead and move this, and I think we'll go closer to the silo. Be able to get this filled up. Have him park right over here. Come on, Bobby. Perfect. We are all set. All right, Bobby's gonna take this on out to that field once I get him out of his truck here. Come on, dude. What are you doing in here? And then we'll go from there. We're gonna get prepped on... Gosh, I'm probably gonna have to go pick up a bunch of lime while he's doing that, because I don't think we have any in capacity. All right, we know what's next. You know, we only get to use this Ford a couple times a year, so it's nice to get it out on the fields here, getting some lime put down. We're gonna have to do all 3 of our fields, and then hopefully we have enough in capacity to help out Bobby with his, but we'll see. This is going on good. Got to use about 3.5 tons per hectare here. Not bad. Bobby should be getting started. Yeah, you can kind of see a strip there that's been cultivated already out in the distance. Everything's going good. Loving this progress, getting super close to being able to focus on getting the land purchased and prepped for the distillery. It's happening this year. We are making whiskey 100%. And seeing how much lime we're gonna have to apply on the new field the first time here, it's a lot more. It's 5.26, so we're taking care of it for the first time here. It should use a lot less lime next year, but that'll be okay this time around. We know we got to get things in the best place possible for us to get as good of a yield as we can get to make as much barley. Got to make a lot of money. We got to keep up with the Carvers. And there are some spots that are only needing 1.75 tons per hectare, which means we have sandy loam right here, which is awesome. That's going to help with the yield for sure. We got a decent soil type over here on this new plot, which is always beneficial. But I don't know if we'll get this full next pass done without needing to refill. Going through a lot of lime here. Still got the other 2 fields to do, so I don't think we purchased enough. I think I have about 9 bags left over there, so that's 18,000 liters. That'll fill this up almost one more time. Definitely gonna need more for the other field. Oh, it's 22,000. We have a little bit more than I thought, so this might... I don't remember the capacity, so we might have 1 bag left over here after filling this up again, but based on the time, I gotta stay focused. I was thinking about driving into town and getting more, but we might have to wait till tomorrow, because I do want to focus on getting this work done more than going to the store, since it is such a long drive. But take a little bit of time here to get this all filled up, and then we will get back to liming. Even with the extra that we had in here before, it all did fit. So 91% full. It looks like 24,000 is what this has, this capacity. So let's go ahead and start getting this put back down, get back up to speed here. Definitely have enough to finish this field, and I'm hoping we can get about a headland done at the big field before we call it a night here. Well, the friendly neighborhood lime dealership delivered a bunch of lime to us, so we should have enough to get everything done that we need today. They're gonna have another load come in as well. So let's go ahead and start applying on here. We should be able to get this rolling, and hopefully Bobby's done soon with the cultivating, so when we get on over there, we can get a line put down on the old cornfield as well. But this is going on at 3.5 as well. So we'll have to lock in there. Looks like we missed a little bit, but should be okay. We can get that on another pass. Looking good. We're gonna stay busy here in February. And I'll see you on the next phase when there's something to update. It's March. Finally got a good day here. I guess I got to set my cruise control pretty low for following Bobby here. He's, you know, got the Ford. Gonna be going pretty slow all the way to his property. We're following him along right now. He's gonna show us the way. We haven't been over there yet, so I'm excited to see this. We're gonna get some lime put down. He did end up purchasing a field that was already plowed in a pretty good state. So what we're doing today is getting some lime put down for him so that he can be ready to plant when it comes in April alongside with us. But it's been a rough winter the last few, like the last month or so. So we finally got a good day here, March 4th. Gonna cruise around, and once we get closer, I'll show you where we're at. I'm excited to see this. And I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I really think Bobby needs a tune-up. Listen to this truck. I mean, maybe it's just the type of engine it is, but it sounds a little off to me. Nice view of where we are for proximity so far for you guys. Our farm is back there in the back left. Going at the max speed he can go, pulling all of that lime with the Ford. Nice alfalfa field right next to us, though. I have a feeling he's going to turn right here. Yep, there he goes. Blew right by the stop sign. We'll do the same. All right, super familiar with this area here. We've been here a lot. There's this little commercial district here to the right. The pizza shop. We got some waffles. A cakery. Eye doctor. Got our McDonald's up here. Not sure exactly where we're headed, but at least it seems somewhat close to our farm. Not too bad, and it is pretty close to the flour production, which is just back behind us a little bit. And I think, yep, he's turning. This must be his field to the right here. The right of, oh, he's pulling over. Perfect. So this looks like this is it. We'll go ahead and park right here for now. All right, I think he's getting all prepped out there to start putting lime down. But yeah, this is a pretty good plot, good start for Bobby. He's backing up, getting ready. All right, so let's go ahead and walk this a little bit. Looks like somebody did plow. The previous owner did plow beforehand. Then goes putting that lime down. Hopefully we have enough in capacity. We'll have to buy some more. Maybe help him out. He might have cash to buy the lime. I think he does. You know, we do pay him, so he's got to have some money. I don't know. Hope he didn't spend it all on this plot of land. I think it was about $250,000. Not too shabby, but, you know, just walking it. Not going to be a ridiculous amount of wheat from this harvest, but it's a start. And I know he was eyeing this field next door once he has enough funding. He already talked to the owner, and luckily enough, like a lot of other people in this town, Noah's doing clover right now over here, but Noah is looking to retire soon, so he could be talked out of that clover field. So we'll let Bobby get going on this. We're gonna hang out until he's done so I can take the tractor back, and then that's why his truck's over here. Exciting times. Well, it is April, and look at this beast of a setup that we have leased. It ate into our money big time. We're at $44,000 right now. But I think this is a wise decision to get this work done super fast for us. And I'm eyeing this for a long-term purchase, this exact setup here. So I was wanting to try it out this time. Just kind of see how it goes, see if this is something we're interested in. But I'm loving it already. Getting the barley in the ground here in April. Should be nice and ready for us late summer. What a beautiful process. Huge piece of machinery. Seems like it's pulling it just fine. I do want to kind of see if we can go a little bit quicker in this. Just kind of see what this tractor can handle. Override that speed a little bit. Let's try to get it up to 9. It seems like this is going to be about the pace. But boy, with this width, I don't see any problem with that at all. We'll have to get something out here to take care of the weeds next. But we got equipment for that already, so we don't need an extra expense this year. But this is the type of equipment we're going to be going with long term. Figured, why not now? Give it a shot. And I'm loving it already. Let's get her done. A little rough to turn, but that'll just be when we're doing the headlands. Once we get the headlands completely done, we should be able to handle this a lot better. Let's take a little look at what we've got here. It says it requires 550 horsepower, and the tractor that we have leased gets 778, where the capacity, I feel like it's the pulling strength here, that it can't go any faster, which is interesting. So maybe the wider tires or the wider tracks here is what's required for that. But that's why we're leasing the equipment, learning the exact setup we're wanting to get long term. I mean, this still seems, even though we're going a little bit slower than we would go with the seeder we own, the seeder's tiny. We're doing like 5 passes at a time compared to what we would do with that one. I think this is going to be worth our time. All right, we got it solved. It was not the power. It was a little bit of a tweak of a tire in the back there. We got that straightened out and everything is processing and going a little bit quicker now. We're able to get it up to 9 miles an hour with ease. We can go even faster if we want. So now no regrets at all. Was feeling a little bit of regret, but there was a little tweak in the tire back there that was causing it to drag and not actually roll really well. So 11 feels pretty comfortable here. I actually think I am going to push it all the way up to 12. And I think that will be good. Let's see if we can actually get to 12. Kind of going uphill right now, so it might not, but much better. Oh, and look at that. Our neighbors are planting as well. Still haven't met Wyatt, but I know they're out there getting work done. Kind of interesting to see every once in a while. Having to be planting right when we do. Most of the town's actually getting pretty busy with planting season right now. Not surprising to see the Carvers out there as well. And just about done with the headland here, and then we will be doing ups and downs. East and west. Should be pretty good. Tempted to, yeah, let's see if we can reconfigure this to be, that's the wrong field. Let's back up. Let's get into our GPS settings here. And I'm going to try to set this up to 2 headlands, because I think we're going to want the extra turnaround time or space. But here we go, second headland. Getting going here, and we'll sneak on over to finishing the first headland, then we'll sneak on over to the second headland here. And yeah, then we'll be going north-south because of the configuration change on the GPS. Should be good. All right, let's, getting a little confused by the joysticks in here and all the buttons, but we should be good now. And going good on the ups and downs. This thing seems to burn through the fertilizer pretty quick, so I'm keeping an eye on that because that might be the only thing that we really need to add here. I think we'll be good on seed. Oh, a little speck we missed. Look at that. But we'll see. 78% with fertilizer, 92% with seed. Going really good. I think they're putting wheat in the ground next door. Should be some nice complementary fields here. And yeah, doing 2 headlands seems to really be the key for turning around and giving us plenty of room here. We could do the headlands last with this configuration as well, so we're not driving over areas that we've just planted. And Bobby should be here soon to pick up the Black Beauty and the cedar. He's going to use that. The John Deere cedar under the shed there for planting his wheat. This is going great, guys. I'm loving this new setup. So we're definitely going to be looking into some financing to get this for next year. I didn't want to purchase it yet. It might have been financially irresponsible, but I'm feeling pretty confident in the money we're going to be bringing in over the next few years to where this isn't going to hurt us. And it was a nice opportunity to try something out before that long-term commitment to buying it. Yeah, look at the width on this thing. It is awesome. Getting close to being done with the original fields and into the bigger field to the left there. Just cruising along today here in April. And last pass on the first field of our 3 we're going to be planting. Going good. I love this setup now that we've got it configured correctly. We're going to go back to the old cornfield next, do that one, and then we'll see where the solid fertilizer is sitting at the end of that to see if we feel comfortable getting started on the big remainder field out there. I think we are going to need a couple thousand more liters of solid fertilizer, and I'm not sure what we have over there because we do have the cedar already jam-packed full for Bobby to take over and use, so he should be here any second now to pick that up. Exciting times. I think they're done with their planting over there. They're close. I think we're getting kind of showing off. We got this whole field done while they're still working on that smaller one. I love it. And started on the second field here. This one should be a lot faster. Really a small field at this point compared to the other 2. Using, well, 105 kilograms per hectare of nitrogen here. That's what we're adjusting it. And it takes 400 kilograms of the liquid or the solid fertilizer to do so. So burning through it a little bit quicker on this field, it seems. So we will definitely have to top off, but I think we're gonna see how far we can get with one load before we actually refill it, just for science. I mean, we're down to 150 back here, so the soil type definitely favors us right now. It's where it's dropping a lot slower now. All right, get it done. Go, Bobby, go. I mean, we're down to 30%, so I think we're definitely gonna need more fertilizer, but I still wanna see how close we can get. If the capacity, how close the capacity of this is to just be able to focus on planting and not have to refill often. I'm guessing we're going to get a little more than the headlands done over there. But let's head that way. We do need to get some weeding done on this, and I think that would be a good opportunity to test out a new farmhand. So I'm going to look around town and try to find someone that can help us with that. This lower, just this small area we missed, and then we'll head on over to that other field. But yeah, we'll definitely be looking for that new farmhand to help out with some of those tasks that, you know, I usually would throw Bobby's way. And we'll focus on getting the headlands done here before we fill back up with some fertilizer. Definitely have enough seed on hand. That's not going to be a concern at all. It's able to handle going up this hill pretty well. Just dropped to 10 miles an hour there. I think we can handle that. Go ahead and start turning here, though. All right, let's see, after we get the headlands done, what we have left in capacity, if we do. Then we might possibly finish the 2 headlands without adding more fertilizer, but it's getting close. We're down to 1,000 liters. You can see how much of this field we have left. So if we could figure out something that just adds a little more nitrogen to the ground between now and harvest and before we plant again, we might be able to pull it off with this setup. Maybe some cover crops or something like that. And speaking of that, we aren't going to be crop rotating, so it might be in our best interest to do that anyways, just to keep the soil as healthy as possible. So I am going to go in, top off on what we have left. I believe we have 1,000 liters, but we're going to need a little more than that. I'll probably order, we'll order 3,000 just to be safe. You know, it's possible that we overspent, but we got 3,000 added to here. We're down to 38,000 bucks. We might need to find a way to make a little bit of cash between now. I do have that loan coming in for the land, and we are getting a little bit more than we need in that loan, so I think we'll be fine to get by. That mortgage is going to be a 30-year payment, so shouldn't hurt our economy too much. And it seems like we purchased the right amount of fertilizer here. We'll get this home, unload the seed and fertilizer that's remaining, and take a nice drive to the dealership and get it returned. Great experiment here. I love it. I think this is our future. Okay, well, the loan is all finalized. We ended up taking out a $750,000 20-year loan. We take a look here, it's $750,000. Like we mentioned, the interest rate is 3.5. Our monthly payment is $4,397 for 240 months. We should see the loan transfer come through, the wire transfer to pay for the new land that's just right down the road a little bit. So what we're gonna do next is I need to get, oh no, we don't have our trailer. Well, we're gonna lease something anyways. We're gonna lease it and drive it to the site. How you doing, ma'am? I need a bulldozer for the day, which is gonna be about $8 grand to lease. Oh boy, that's all right. It's definitely needed, and it's gonna save us a ton of money by me doing these tasks myself. And I'm thinking it's gonna be slow, but I think there might be a back way for me to just drive this over there. And then we'll get the truck brought over here later with the gooseneck to be able to bring this back. So let's take this on over. I think we can take this route and hopefully hug the road until we get over there. But yeah, we should see momentarily that wire go through for the land being purchased, and I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm a little scared of getting a ticket. I'm gonna park it here. Actually, we're gonna take it back to the dealership. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, we're here with the truck, so I should be able to just drive this up here. I think I want to back it on there. It's about as big of a piece of machinery as we can fit on this trailer, so that looks good. Just got to get it strapped in here. Like so. Put one more right there, should be good, and then we'll get this ramp lifted. All right, let's head on over to the site. Again, any second now. We can't start our work till it happens, but any second now we should see that money leave the account, and that field will be ours. Not 100% sure what is taking so long on this loan transfer, but they said around 1 o'clock at the latest, and we're getting close to that, so we'll get there. Maybe we'll have to take a little break, need some food, but very soon we'll be prepping this for a whiskey distillery. Well, there we are. $254,000 has left the account. We still have $500,000 to get everything prepped and going. It's going to cost a lot to get this building established, but let's find a good spot to pull over. This is a good size field and building. It's pretty good size too, so let's not block the road. Let's go ahead and sneak over here to the little grass area. Make sure the ramps get down there. All right. Unstrap it, and one more to go here. All right, we should be able to hop in. So this cost us $8,000 so far, and a little bit of diesel that we'll have to fill it back into it when we return it. But this was definitely what I noticed was the best opportunity for us to save a ton of money on this project. So we got to start clearing this land. So let's get it down about right there. Oh, there we go. Looking good. All right. Lots and lots of dust getting picked up here. It's pretty bumpy. Just keep on cruising straight here. Yeah, I got to get back over just a little bit. Guess we'll come back and do the pass to our left here, but gosh, looking good. Gonna get all this old debris out of the way, and we're kind of flattening the ground at the same time, which is perfect. To the end of our property here, we'll lift the blade. Just slow down. Don't want to go too far here. That should be good. And I think I don't want to go as far down as we did before there. I think this is good. We'll have to figure out how to level this back out, but I think this height is a lot better. Yeah, and 4 miles an hour seems to be a little bit easier to control the dozer here. So much dust particles in the air. Don't want to run into the truck. All right, I think we got a good system down here. I'm gonna get enough land cleared for us to start getting this prepped for some concrete. Let's get it done. I think that's a good spot. Let's hope no cars are coming here as I line back up this way. Woo, go, we'll just drive in a little bit. Probably would have been a safer way to do it. Luckily no, oh, there's a car there. Woo, close stuff. All right, let's get this lowered back down. About right there, and we should be able to just cruise forward now. Excellent. All right, I think that should be a good enough starting space, and we'll get this measured later on and just double check to make sure. But I think I'm gonna get busy here. But the first thing I'm gonna do, I did notice that I have a way to send my workers information on this new system we're using, so we're gonna do that. I can tell them I want them to use 7810, and I want them to do field work here, and we already have the weeder on there, so they should be able to just get started on that work for us now. Bob is here to help out today, or not here, but he's back at home at the farm, so he'll be taking care of things there while we're working on getting this prepped. He already did 2 of the fields with the weeds yesterday. Just a new potential foreman, farmhand that we're working with. We'll see how it goes, since we're gonna be losing Bobby to his full-time operation soon. Just gonna stay focused here and get this whole area cleared out, and then we'll double check the size of it when we're done. And just about done here. We're definitely gonna need to do some grading next, because this place is pretty uneven. You can see we've taken a lot of dirt out of here and moved it around and just kind of pushed it and caused some hills. And we're gonna need it super flat, so we might need to get something out here to survey the land for us to help us out with that part, because we're struggling a little bit with that aspect of this job. But other than that, the ground is cleared. The next phase is to prep the ground a little bit more to get some concrete put down. Well, I think this was a good first day on the construction site here. Can really tell by the fences how uneven everything is still, but we'll let the construction company take over from here. That's gonna help us out, and we'll see if there's areas after I talk to that foreman about me possibly doing some more help to make this cheaper. We're gonna have to figure out something with the dip here, or the hill. We are gonna go farther long term, so this isn't the end of the production area here for whiskey, but it's a start. This should be able to get us enough room for 1, maybe 2 of our distilleries long term, and the home office that I want to put here. The SWU Spirits corporate office is gonna go here, so pretty good start of the day. I think it's time to head back to the dealership, return our leased equipment here, the bulldozer, and get some sleep. But definitely got to get this strapped in before we do that. Get the ramps lifted. Yeah, long day. Long day of work. It was well worth it. I do want to kind of drive around here and just see how the ground feels. Yeah, not too bad. Seems pretty level. I don't really feel any terrain change in this area, so but we might have, saved us a lot of money by doing this. They dropped off the fence, you know, right towards the end there and got it all prepped and all safety. You know, it's safe now. OSHA should be happy. Let's head back to the dealership, return this lease. Like I said, we got to get in business to compete with that. Bill's doing pretty good. Look at Bill go. Looks like he's just about done with the weeds. So the trial with Bill's been going good. We'll probably, I'm hoping to find a couple more jobs for a couple other farmhand leads that I was looking into as well. But right now, Bill looks like the winner. But he's the only one that we've really evaluated so far. It's May 1st. We're heading on over to Bobby's field because we didn't think we were going to get weeds, and we ended up getting weeds over there. Everything looking good that Bill did for us. Our fields are looking pretty nice. So I checked the closest ones. We'll have to check the old cornfield later on. We're going to head on over to Bobby's property. I'm going to do some weeding for him. And then later on today, we're going to go check on the progress of the production site and see how the construction company's going. We did hand over the entire operation to them. I saved us a good amount of money. I think it was about 30 grand for just clearing that area, and, you know, minus the lease that we did. So we saved about $22,000, which is very much needed. We're down to 520, but we still got a lot of money to spend to the contract company once it's done, once we have that building complete. And it's going to be a couple structures put there, so we're going to see how much money we have left. I know we have enough in the budget. I'm hoping they don't run into any unexpected expenses, and we can have a little bit of cash to get us through until harvest season, when we can start making some whiskey and then start making some money, because that is our only revenue stream right now. Things get really bad, or if we produce too much whiskey or too much barley that we can't handle in the production, we could sell some of the barley. But we'll keep that in mind. We're going to be definitely looking at the numbers in a lot of detail this time around to see if we have enough land to keep the distillery populated for an entire year. And once we get one distillery populated for an entire year, we're going to build a second one. We're going big. But we're almost there. We're just going to do this little cut through to get over to Bobby's field and get those weeds taken care of for him. I wonder why Bobby's truck's down there. Down by the creek. Interesting. But here we are in his field. We'll go ahead and unfold here. Yeah, let's take a look. Needs rolled. I don't, what was he talking about? Oh, there are some weeds out here. Okay. There is a little bit, just not by the edge here. All right, let's hop in. We'll go ahead and get this done for him. Kind of returning the favor for all the times he's helped us with weeding. You know, another upgrade we're looking at, but tractors will definitely be first, and that's one of the things I'm going to be keeping in mind when we have money left over, is what do I want to purchase to help out the farm and help out probably the harvest is what we'll be looking at first. But I will see you in a little bit. And the last little strip here, I'm going to go check on Bobby and see what he's doing down there after this. He's probably fishing, but I'm kind of wondering what he's doing down there. That's an interesting area. Hasn't been developed yet in this town. Yeah, we'll get this done, fold it on up, and I'm going to cruise down there, see what he's doing. Maybe join him for a little bit of fishing, but then we got to check on that construction site, see what kind of progress they're making. All right, Bobby, I'll see you later. We're going to let him just enjoy his day. Everything's prepped on all of our fields, just got to wait for harvest. He was wanting to possibly, once money's in a better spot, buy this lot and build a couple houses on it, like his house and my house. Something to keep in mind. I definitely want to look at the flood reports in this area, because I don't want us moving in somewhere where we're going to have to build extra infrastructure just to be careful so we don't flood our houses if big storms come in. So we'll check the flood reports and see how everything looks there. It's a good idea, though. I kind of like that spot. Could have a little private fishing area there right on the creek. But let's get home, and then we got to drive up to that site and see what's going on with the new production buildings. Hopefully they've made a good progress here in the last couple weeks. Well, did we go overboard? Probably. But this is our new facility. This is the office, pretty much. And we'll have some storage in here for some unsold whiskey. But we'll just cruise around here and take a look. A couple areas are overgrown. We got some parking here for some employees and potential customers when they come by. Yeah, a little bit of detailing needs to be fixed with the grass, but this is looking great. Let's go back here and get a little view of it. Might have been a little overdone, but I love it. I love it. It feels welcoming compared to that building. So let's go ahead and cruise in here. We got a little walkway into the office. Here's our office area. And a little bit of trees coming through. We might fix that. And then this will be for storage of goods. So the idea here is that we'll be storing products that we're not actually putting into the production, but we might need. Just role-playing that a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna clean up a little bit of these shrubs out here and a little bit of this grass. I think we're gonna call the office good. Yeah, not a bad start. I think this looks pretty good. Well, it is June 1st. Everything seems to be growing pretty nice. We're gonna take another check and take a look and see how the production's coming. Well, you can see our money is at $140,000. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go this way, kind of hide a little bit. And then we're gonna turn around our grand reveal. Looks like we did the wrong color fence over here. I think I like the black better, so we might replace this one long term, but that looks good. Got the outside growing a little bit more, and then once we get in here, it's really nice and manicured. Gosh, I'm loving this. Montana's finest whiskey since 2022. And we can see here, SWU Spirits. This is looking awesome. Got a little bit of parking over here. We didn't detail this as much as we did over there because I wanted it to feel a little more industrial. Some longer parking spaces for bigger vehicles over here. Not a lot of room to sneak behind the building, but there should be no reason for that at all. Looking pretty good. I'm loving how this is turning out. We got this big wall to figure out, but we're gonna keep expanding that out long term. We should be able to fit one more of these productions once we have enough cash in the existing footprint right now. So if we hop in here, come on down this way, we can put one more right here. We should be able to completely fit it in there. Yeah, should be good once we have enough cash. So once we get $250,000, we'll definitely be doubling down on the production site here. Oh, so exciting. But now it's really just time to wait until harvest season so we can get that populated. $140,000 will help us with our loan payments and also some down payments on some equipment I'm looking to buy. The only thing really we're gonna do in July here while we just wait for this crop to be ready, and you can see it's coming in good. It's coming in real nice. We're looking at 97% yield bonus. We're gonna get approximately 13 tons per hectare here, but we've got bees. We've got bees, and we need honey, and that's all I'm gonna tell you right now. Early morning, checking on the bees here, 85 liters so far. That's not gonna be enough. That's not gonna be enough. We're gonna have to really expand that production there. But we've got golden fields at this point. Some gold over here, gold back there. And I believe even Bobby's field is gonna be gold. Well, I got some prepping to do. We're gonna get some different equipment this time around, but I will join you in a little bit, and we're gonna start a huge harvest process right now and see if we've produced enough barley to fill up our production for an entire year. And we'll go over those numbers soon. We've got a lot to do, and we're gonna spend, well, we're not gonna spend money. We're gonna finance a lot of things. We're gonna start by selling a lot of equipment. The Lizard trailer is getting sold $21,000. The corn header going away for $36,000. The New Holland going away for $100,000. The New Holland header going away for $23,000. Everything else I think is gonna stay at this point, but I'm gonna drive to the store and we're about to do a little bit of shopping. We could go for the big boy here, the AF11 Case IH for $740,000, or we could look into getting two of the 7150s for less money combined. The capacity is about the same for the two, but we would have two going. We are going to go ahead And we're gonna do 5-year loans. We're gonna do 10-year loans. Man, should we try to do a 10-year loan with a payment of 91,000? I think we're gonna do 10 years. We're gonna put 5% down on this. We are gonna do 2 of these today. And we're gonna go with the 28-foot headers here. So we'll hire these as well. We're gonna do 10 years on all of these and hope it works out for the best. And I think we'll pay for cash for the 2 header trailers. There's one heading back. We got a bunch of farmhands helping us today. Bill has gotten some of his closest friends to help us out. So lots of hands here to help me. I'm gonna get this one going. We'll hand it off to one of them to get it home. We're gonna continue shopping. No way that one goes. All right, next up, we're gonna buy 2 J&M auger wagons. We'll do 10 years as well. These might not work. We're gonna keep the auger wagons here because we're gonna purchase a semi-truck here next. We need to get another tractor because I don't think the John Deere is gonna work. I said it was a shopping spree. It is 100% a shopping spree. Let's see, we're gonna go, I want enough horsepower, but I don't want to overspend on this purchase here. I think we're gonna go with 2 of the International LT series, and we're gonna do them our custom color. And then I want to change that to matte. Yes. We're gonna get this one for 10 years as well. And you're not seeing wrong. We got 2 of them and 2 trucks. This operation's getting huge, guys. Lots of debt, but it's all good. All right, and I do want to test out the height here just to double check that we're gonna be good with this configuration. Oh yeah, that should work lovely. So 1 more purchase. I was gonna go with it, I just can't justify it. I can't justify it. So I think we're gonna go with a smaller cedar as well. But we are gonna go with the Magnum. Let's get the US one set up. We wanna get, I think I wanna do wider tires. Well, you know what? Let's just do the wheel weights for now. And let's get this going for 10 years as well. And that's gonna conclude the craziness that was this shopping spree. We're gonna get all this equipment home and get started with the harvest. I made a comment a while ago that it felt like something snapped and that Wyatt might be winning and Ken might be winning, but I think this plan's gonna work. Now let's try to help this guy out here. There we go. That was awesome. All right, let's see if we can catch up to the caravan, but we'll get everything prepped. And I think we're gonna start with the biggest field. And I have a spot where I want to prep everything. So we'll get things rolling here. Man, actually we might start with the smaller field just to get some practice in. So I'll explain our plan here as we're driving back. So we've got 2 auger wagons, we have 2 trucks and trailers that we're gonna put the grain in. So the auger wagons we're gonna fill up obviously with the harvester. They're gonna dump into the trucks. The second the trucks are full, they're gonna drive to, oh look at that, it looks great, to the whiskey distillery, start loading it up. We also need to buy a water tank. So once I get everything going and the process set up there, we're gonna take the John Deere back to the dealership and pick up a water tank. We gotta find somewhere in town that we can get water, but we might actually, well, today we're gonna have to get away with it, finding it somewhere else, but I think I'm gonna get a well put in at the production site so that we can fill up directly there and not have to do long trips. But let's get back, let's get everything prepped and going, get that first harvest going, and once I feel like it's rolling good, we will do that so that the second barley gets over here, we can get that production turned on. That's the plan. Now looking at this pipe as we're taking one out here to get prepped, we definitely can upgrade these headers long term, but I wanted to make sure we had this operation going pretty smooth before we end up doing something like that. All right, there's a lot to take into consideration here. Let's get this lower to get it activated. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this first little area. I might do both headlands here because we're gonna want, we do want to get straw dropped here probably for more money, but we're gonna want to clear this area so we have a working area to unload because there's not much room on the roads here. So what I'm gonna do is go up and down. Hopefully we don't hit the semi here. I think we should be good to squeeze right by it. Black Beauty here, looking good. All right, let's let this swath finish. And then we will back out and cut in a little bit more. We'll see how it feels after 2 widths, but let's go ahead and get a decent amount here. And then we should be able to make this turn now. And continuing on. I mean, that's looking like a good amount of the field opened up there. All right, that should be good. Let's get this shut off for now. Leave it running so it stays warm. Next, I want to get these auger wagons configured correctly. Auger trailers, I should say. All right, so we've officially got 2 harvests going on 2 different fields. Looking pretty good. The first truck is close to being full. We just need probably one more time unloading one of the auger wagons, and we'll be heading over to the distillery. Then finally, while that's going on, we're gonna take the John Deere, go get that water truck, or water tank. We're gonna purchase a water tank and get the distillery populated with water. And because of the plan we have, we're gonna go with just the $6,500 or $17,000 one that holds 6,500 liters. And I did find this nice creek here that we're gonna fill up in until we get that well installed. And it's just up the hill is where the production is, so we're not too far away. We'll just try to sneak back here, get some water. Good thing we have a little filter in the production to filter the water. We should be good. Their building is taller. We plan on scaling horizontally with more productions, but it makes me happy seeing this place. I love it. Let's get in there. Let's get this set up. And then we'll just wait for the truck to get here. And the first truck is on its way to get delivered. 46,000 liters already heading that way. And starting to fill up the second truck. Perfect. It's been fun watching the harvesters on the tablet from here, figuring everything out. But we're just about to have our first delivery of barley to SWU Spirits. Getting antsy. Here they come. There they are. This is awesome. And officially putting some barley in the distillery. And they're on their way back to the field with the second semi on its way. What a process. All right, now ignore the images. They're going to change once again. I messed up again, but we do have a whole barrel already produced. It is the next morning. We have almost 400,000 liters. The way we've set this up, we're going to use 77 barley per cycle, and we're going to do 480 cycles a month. That's going to give us 36,960 barley to burn through. And over 12 months, that's going to be 443,520. So we do need another delivery here to get us enough barley for the entire year. We want to have 12 months. And looky, there's our first SWU whiskey. 1,000 liters of whiskey. We got 250 liters in each barrel. Looking great. And we've started to prep out here. You can see we got things going. We have also the Ford out there picking up the straw, delivering it to the animal dealer. I got this prepped already. So we're going to get these guys all configured, and we're going to want to do multiple vehicles, and we will do one headland this time and go ahead and get them started here. No reason to wait. So the only real issue we've had with Bill's team so far is every once in a while their combine drivers end up running into each other, and that's something we're working with them to figure out. I think we're getting them up to par, though, with what we need them to do. This one's going to go ahead and drive to his starting location and get started. We've got everyone else prepped, just ready to go. And we're heading back to the whiskey distillery with the John Deere to get a little bit more water put in, just to make sure we have enough. So pretty around here. I love the look, man. One of my favorite builds we've done so far on the channel. Who put that tree there? And I think I might regret not getting enough water over here, or a big enough water tank, because this thing's thirsty. It takes a lot of water to produce whiskey, but we'll get that solved later on. We got one harvester filling up already. The other one's going to come around and probably catch up to that, but the operation is looking solid so far. Headlands are always the toughest thing. And once we get through the headlands, this whole process seems to work a lot smoother. And our first grain car getting unloaded here on this run. Got the other one coming right back behind it. You can see the Ford out there working. I just love having this much equipment out running at the same time. Besides some rendering issues that we're seeing right now, this is looking sweet. Everything's going in the silo today. We'll move a little bit more barley over when we need to. But as of right now, things are looking solid. Just big fields, and it looks like Black Beauty's gonna try to unload on the go here. Let's see how that goes. Oh, this is sweet. It is working. I'm gonna have to double check the settings because I was struggling getting this to work. So no, we do not have Courseplay enabled. And over here, we have the same setting, but this one, let me check. Yeah, we're dropping RP big time right here because this is beyond awesome to me. Yeah, I don't know why this one is working the ideal way, but the other one's not. Maybe because they're on the headland still and they can't go to it. So we'll see how this proceeds. Back to RP. Really just 100% playing farm manager at this point and checking in on all of our workers. We're at 74% full on the straw. There's a couple passes where we reconfigured the course that the combines were running on that I'll probably have to do myself later on, which is completely fine. But boy, farm management is a blast. And, you know, that's only one crop type or one whiskey type. We are going to do honey whiskey, but we need to get a little bit more product of honey going. And while that's unloading, I am going to jog on over and see how that's looking. 181 liters. We're going to need a lot more. We're going to need almost a whole plot of land. Well, we're going to hopefully adjust this field again soon and expand our farmyard, so we might build a place for the honey production. And we're really gonna have to get this tiered up before we start promising to process a bunch of honey whiskey. Things are looking good out here. I think we're gonna get a little side-by-side ordered and delivered so I can cruise around and check on things. Definitely were able to pay for this with cash. But yeah, this is ideal. So now I can just cruise around the farm area, start checking on things, seeing what's going on, why things are not being processed, and why they're stopping, if they are. Very cool. Yeah, we can come around right here. All right, this harvester's back on the go. They both seem to be satisfied right now. The grain cart operators are just waiting to be called. Cruise around this way. This might be nice. How you guys doing? Need anything? Looking good, all right. How about back here? You need anything? Still early, but we'll get some lunch headed this way soon. Yeah, lots of straw to pick up. That's going to be a huge part of our income this year because we're not going to have all of the distribution companies that we're going to need to get through all of that whiskey when it comes to selling it. So still working with some companies on that. We do have our old connections from Black Mountain and Iowa, but we're producing so much more whiskey than we did back in those days. So things to keep an eye on. Finishing up the first headland here. They're both doing one headland, so it'll be 2 total and give them plenty of room to turn around. And we'll see the grain cart operators. They're hanging back this time. Little inconsistencies with the way those guys do their job still. Let's go check on our semi-operators, see how they're doing. Ooh, how you doing? Doing good? All right, have a good one. Talk to you soon. We're gonna come by and get lunch orders in a little bit. How you doing? All right, sounds good. Yeah, lunch orders in a little bit. And the last one really to check on is the Ford as we cruise out here. Like they're getting close to being full. Might be right now, actually. They're gonna head on in and sell that, and we'll check on them and make sure they're doing good. But we'll see money coming in momentarily from that, and they'll come back and pick up where they left off. Beautiful thing. So, you know, while I have just some time to... Oh, they unloading? They're unloading while they drive by? That's all right. That is okay. But we're going to be putting some cover crops in here this year to get this soil in a better state. You know, if we're going to do barley on it every year, we're going to have to make sure we're taking care of this soil, and we're not rotating crops to help it out, so... I think a cover crop would be nice for that. What we got going on here? Taking the long way? Oh, you're getting caught up. Love it. And then this one, they're hanging back a little bit farther, being kind of shy back there. And there they go. The headlands should be done at this point. They're going to start doing some ups and downs. And that's when this really starts to speed up. Only being able to go 14, it's going to take the Ford a little bit of time to get there and back, and we're hoping they're not too wide for some of the areas they have to go to. Oh, what are these guys doing? See, this is what these operators do every once in a while. They just start running into each other and having a little fight out here. I think we got them all sorted out. So when you know you made it big time, when you're just sitting in the side-by-side. In case there's repairs that need to be done, in case anybody needs anything. Hoping to get this one done today so we can get to Bobby's field tomorrow. Yeah, things seem to be progressing awfully well. Another part of this process I do want to keep an eye on. I thought they were getting... Oh, let's get out of their way. Thought they were getting full and headed in, but they might not be yet. See our grain cart operator coming in now. Should be coming here and unloading. And we're going to find out right now if we got this all configured correctly for them, if we set up their routes correct, or if we're going to run into any problems. Oh, they're coming in quick right now. Are you gonna slow down in time? Oh my goodness. So you should have filled up the back one first, but you're coming in too hot. That might be a problem. And we're taking a look at our drone here, our drone footage, to see if the Ford can fit through this entrance. And this was the big issue I was worried about. Looks good. Now they should just cruise on over here and sell at the animal dealer. And we'll see what each one of these loads is going to bring in financially this time around. I mean, if it gets us enough to get another distillery going, we might get that ordered here and get it installed by November, hopefully. We just need 250 and then a little bit of breathing room for our bills. So 40,000 plus 4,500, a couple more loads, we might be there. Looks like we are getting about 12.4 tons per acre. per hectare. 94% yield bonus. This one's showing 121%, so dramatic change there in the different soil type with 16.1 tons. And we hop over here and they should be transitioning to that other soil type here in a second. Yeah, we see it start going up, getting closer to 16, but at 121%. Yeah, this is a good money field right here. And we got another one of our operators coming in. Let's see if they are gonna blow past it as well. They are. Oh, they slowed down in time. Perfect. All right, we got that fixed. I did adjust where the target was, so that should help out. And it'll be interesting to see if this semi is gonna be all the way full now. I think it might be after this. Got a full grain cart operator there. Just watching this here to see what happens. And then they're gonna scoot forward, unload a little bit more in the middle bin. And then they stopped. So they're all done. What is she gonna do in the truck here? Covers on. Once the grain cart's out of the way, the auger wagon, they should start pulling forward. Lunch will be here soon, but I need you to do your job. Oh, not quite full yet. I was seeing things. Okay, that's all right. My bad. Actually, I think I am gonna send her on her way so that the next one isn't so stressed out. So that one's gonna head on to the silo, and they're just gonna loop back around and drop it off at our silo this time, and not the whiskey distillery yet, since we have a lot of liters extra. All right, and she is ready and waiting. Should be nothing in here. Absolutely. Everything's working in unison. We got them skipping rows this time, so that should help with them not running into each other. As this one's cutting through, this is where they're gonna end up running into each other though. Just right here. Yeah, unfortunately. There's the semi successful at turning around, now just making its way towards the silo, and the Ford is slowly creeping its way back to get back to work. We need to get something a little more efficient on that job, I think. Should fill up this grain cart and then they'll head over to the truck and unloading at the silo. Absolutely perfect. What are we looking in here? Already 68,000, 69,000. We can only hold 400 here, so it's gonna be close. See how this field yields. All right, we've seen the whole process. Now it's time to look at the trees. Just see it finish. We'll be back. And we're just about done with harvest, and we're going to swap out the Ford and the Magnum here on picking up the straw, because the Ford's just way too slow. They're out there finishing the first half of that field as we've pretty much finished harvest here at this point. We can have just a little bit going on back there with the second combine still, but it is time to put this auger wagon away, and we'll swap out with the Ford like we said, and then we'll take a look once we finish the harvest on what we have. And I need to head into the office here in a second once we get everything sorted, because we've got a possible problem. We need to get organized out here. Been chaos. Long harvest season this year. Not sure what we're running into. There we go. It looks like the Ford is officially finishing the first half, and this is a perfect time to swap machines here. We're just gonna cut them off, make sure they stop. Probably gonna list this for sale soon. Not getting a lot of use out of it. We got multiples. Love it. You know, Bill's crew did pretty good this time around, a lot better than yesterday, so they're showing great signs of improvement. So we're, debating hiring him full time. Don't know a ton about him, but I think it'll work out good. But this is the end of the grain that we have. The harvest is finally complete of all three fields. We're gonna look at those grand totals after I head to the office in a moment. All right, we're just relaxing here at the office, and I wanted to pull up the numbers and show you guys. Just under 400,000 liters in the whiskey distillery, and another 303,000 liters in storage, for a grand total of possible income of $345,000 on that, just from barley, that we're not gonna need in the distillery. So the big issue right now, we might have to start storing our whiskey over here because the distribution companies in town, they're not fans. They are not fans. And look at this. Just throughout the day, we've got 3,000 liters of whiskey out here. Lots of money. And looking at our time-saving stock check, that's showing us it's going to be approximately $83,000 worth of whiskey right here. But struggling to find people that are willing to buy it. So I have suspicions that somebody's working on blocking us. And I have a feeling they're the owner and operator of that building right over there. Oh, it's starting to happen. It is August 3rd and Bobby is getting ready in the harvester to harvest his field. Let's make sure that we switch over to his account right now. We'll get his money sorted out later on. Just really waiting out the rainstorm at this point. Bill is also taking care of picking up the straw in this field here in the south field. You can see the big field has been cleared and our dollar amount, if you saw a minute ago, was at $300-some thousand. So we're looking good. We'll do a nice report on our farm after we get this harvest done. I think it's gonna clear up right about now and away we go. So Bobby will be running the harvester. We'll be in Black Beauty here running the grain cart, and I just have this here because we're gonna run it straight to the flour distillery when the time comes. So let's go ahead and follow along with him, get this unloaded, and like I said, we're gonna want to get his production up and running as soon as possible. So we might get, you know, a couple thousand liters in here, run it over there, make sure everything's looking good for him. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do this to the headland. We'll follow him around the headlands, and then we'll head over to the flour mill and get that operational. All right, I think that's good. We got over 6,000 liters. Let's head on in. And, ooh, I think this will work. I think we'll be able to unload it with this. Otherwise, we might have to tell Bobby he's got to buy his own grain cart. I guess we could bring one of the semis over here if need be. I think we can cut through this way. Take a little shortcut. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they never connected this road right here, because it's through a private property, probably. Oh yeah, it is like that. Okay, so we will have to transfer this to one of our semis and yeah, go from there. All right, we'll go back. We'll get this completely full. A little oversight on my part. I think Bobby will understand. Just a couple, 30 minutes maybe delayed getting his production running. Shouldn't hurt the bottom line too much there. And we've gotten back before he's had to stop, so that's good. Go ahead and get going here. And if we get close to filling this up, we'll get Bill on the phone and see if he can bring over one of the semis, but I think we'll be all right. Who knows? It might not be, actually. This is a decent sized field. It's a little bigger than I thought it was originally. Yielding really good. We took care of it well. We just had some of our straw sold, so Bill's doing good. We're up to $382,000. We're going to be making some decisions on what we're going to do with that money very soon. We kind of missed our turn there. We talked about the distribution issue that we're having, and I'm, 95% sure that Wyatt and Ken are behind it. None of the distributors in town are wanting to sell our whiskey, which came to us as a surprise to me. I thought the town would be real welcoming of another distillery, especially since we got everything, approved by the boards in town. And it just seems like they're claiming they've got enough product. So we'll keep on working on that. Try to figure out a different angle maybe, but we might be shipping it out of state, which is okay if that is the case, but I was not planning on that, so we'll get it figured out. All right, we got this set up good. Thought I would come and get it. Not bad. We got there pretty quick. So we'll try to get around and give them some relief on this pass here if we have time. Looks like it'll be close. We should be good. There we go. Let's see how much this fills it up now. Yeah, I get him completely emptied here before he goes back for his ups and downs. And we should be sitting, yeah, 14.7. Dropping this off in the semi. I am thinking, yeah, well, let's head over there. Once that's done, and we'll get this all going. We'll have to remember to deposit it in the correct account over there. All right, hopefully this works correctly. Money should not be going up, and we should pop into the production here and see some wheats perfectly. Let's get the wheat changed to storing and activated. All right, Bobby is on the go now, making some more flour to pay us off. Harvests seem to go fast when you're keeping yourself busy. We're over here waiting for them to finish this pass and turn around so we can unload them again. I think we should check on Bill too. Bill seems to be getting it done. Not too much left to do. I don't think we'll get another full load here, but good progress is being made. Still got the old cornfield to pick up straw from. Hoping to get to some tillage and be able to get the cover crop planted here in September. So that means we will be buying a cultivator and potentially a new seeder. About halfway done, so not bad. Making good progress here. Bobby should be real happy with the outcome of his first ever harvest of his own field, and you know, he's got a lot of experience in the harvester there, so he's looking happy. Look at him. Look at him. That doesn't look like him. Grain going in good. Just cruising along beside the axle flow harvester. Header's looking good. Got to do some maintenance on that soon though. Make sure things are in tip-top shape for next year. Going about 10 kilometers, it looks like. And we got another, yeah, about 9,000 liters in here. Perfect. That should suit Bobby well. I just logged into Bobby's account here in the county, and he never did the soil samples. So many things that I take care of that he wasn't doing, that I didn't teach him, is what I'm starting to learn here. So when we did lime and we did everything, or when he did, the amounts were not correct because there was no data for it to be, you know, connected to. So his yield is looking pretty bad. It's like 70%. So not sure what the plan is for that. I did talk to him a little bit about it over the radio, so should be good moving forward. We're gonna get that purchased, and you know, it should work out still next time around. This was his first time. We gotta get a little closer, it looks like. Come on, get on over. There we go. Get another about 8,000 on this run. So this is still looking pretty good. He's gonna make a decent amount of money off of this. All right, we'll cruise around almost 10,000 on that one. You know, just for fun, because I have time while I wait for him to get down to the other end of the field. I've been unloading this. I haven't taken a look at how close we are here to filling up the back yet, but we're getting there. Next time by should fill up the back, and then we'll start working on the middle. But just a handful of passes to go. Everything's going good with the straw at home. Still a lot to do this year, though. No, we got a late start because of rainstorm. It's already 3 o'clock, but we're just about finished with this harvest. We do have another load of straw heading to the animal dealer as we speak. Be a couple minutes before they get there, but it should be before we finish this and I deliver the goods back to the flour mill. Yeah, maybe we will get done first. Yeah, when this money starts showing up here in a second, this should push us close to about 425, which was part of the plan. I knew we were gonna make ice cream man. I knew we were gonna make a decent amount of money this year, so that's why we went so crazy on the loans and the financing of the vehicles and implements. We're gonna pay a good amount of that off here before the year ends. Get ourselves in a pretty good spot to start year 6 here in Montana. But this is gonna finish up the harvest, and we're gonna wait for that dollar amount to go up before we switch accounts and send Bobby's grain to the flour mill. And that should do it for the harvest. Another 14,000 about to go into the semi. 38,000 liters going in to the flour mill momentarily. Should be a good start for Bobby. And dropping off the goods for Bobby. I'm sure he's already back down there fishing. He is obsessed with that spot. And just filling in a little bit of water here at the distillery here in September. We've got a lot, but again, nowhere to sell it. We got 6 here. We got, 8 more in the building. a lot of money worth of whiskey. Honestly, it's $309,000 worth of whiskey already. It's a little insane. I might adjust that actually before we sell those. We're going to probably cut that price in half. I did this realistic to liters to whiskey in real life, and I think the scale is a little bit off. So we'll get it figured out eventually. But we do have a decent amount of money, and the cedar we're going to go with is going to be, yeah, this horse for 12 meters, 300 required horsepower. We're going to go the biggest one possible, and I did kind of like design 2 on this setup here. We're purchasing it. $5,000 delivery fee on this bad boy, but it's cover crop time. This is a direct drill. I do want just seed. We're not going to do any fertilizer. So let's see if we can get this filled up here. Bill is working on the northernmost field. We're going to start here on the south. And again, we're doing a cover crop, so we'll get oilseed radish selected here. And away we go. I think this is a good compromise for what we were working with. This is flying. We know we can go super fast if we want to. Default is 9 miles an hour. We're going to split the difference. And we're going to set it at about 13. So this should help the soil recover every year from doing barley. And when it comes spring, we'll get some more barley planted. We'll probably mulch over the oilseed radish. And I think that'll be our way to get in a little bit extra yield bonus and get it prepped for being able to put lime down next time around. But let's go ahead and see how quickly we can get this field done. Enjoy. Making great time here in the morning. Just kind of reflecting on what's happened and what's to come here. You know, we started this year by expanding these fields, swapped out a field with Ben, spent some money on it. Got a good loan out to buy some property, a new mortgage going, beautiful production yard that we have out there now. SWU Spirits is officially online, but right now it appears that the Carver family is pulling its strings and causing the distributors to not buy our product. So I'm gonna have to do some soul searching, maybe get a lawyer. I don't know what we're gonna do. This family over here has been a thorn in my side for over a decade now. We got a lot of barley sitting in a silo. I wanted to get a second distillery going, and we have funds for it if we just sold a little bit of the barley and a little bit of our whiskey. But I feel like that wouldn't be a wise investment. Something's got to give. We got to get this to end. We got to get this family to leave us alone for once. We never did anything wrong other than buy property near someone who was running an illegal moonshine business. Now, I don't know about you, but it feels like in the end, we've got to win. We can't let them win. We can't give up. We got to find a way. If that's sending them international, spending extra money for getting things through customs, that's what we're going to be doing this winter. I'm going to be spending a lot of time looking into our options, figuring out if there's ways I can just get this family off my back, but also figure out a way to actually make the ridiculous amount of money we should be making off of this amazing whiskey we're making now. We've been making whiskey for over 10 years. We know it's good. We know it's a good product. We just got to figure out how to get the right people to want to buy it. I'm going to shut the GoPro off for a few months here. We're going to go into hiding until spring. We're going to get all 3 of our fields oilseed radish planted on it for cover crops, take care, just a lot of busy work. Make sure that the distillery's filled with barley and enough water to produce the whiskey. And we're gonna have to figure out, like I said multiple times, where those distributors are gonna come from to help us actually make money off of this distillery. Until next time, I'm Socks Way Up, and I will catch you on the next episode.